Class is in session. MLB hitting the book show for Monday, May the 12th. Ian Cameron and Connor Mack fresh off another weekend and ready to get back at it for another week in MLB. Let's just jump right in. We've got a nice Monday night slate. Let's begin with Milwaukee and Cleveland. We've got Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Brewers, Ben Lively for the Guardians. Milwaukee minus 120 road favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. We're starting off with a game I didn't bet, quite honestly. I like Peralta a little bit more than Ben Lively, and obviously he's had a really good season so far. 2.12 ERA. He's given up 3 runs or less in 5 straight starts. Brewers are 2-0 in his last 2 starts for Peralta. I think he's the better pitcher, but I will give Ben Lively credit. He's had 2 better starts in a row after a bit of a shaky start to the year. 1 run in his last 11 innings against the Nationals and the Twins. And Guardians have won 4 straight Ben Lively starts. Cleveland's definitely in better form. Now, they did drop the last 2 games against Philadelphia, but they've still been playing better lately. Milwaukee did not have a very good series against Tampa, and I was victimized for backing Milwaukee a couple times in that series against a struggling Tampa team, and they lose 2 of 3. So really tough call. I mean, I think Cleveland's the team I'd rather bet at this price, but I think I like Peralta a little bit more than I like Lively, so I ended up passing. C-Mac, how about you here? First game, Brewers-Guardians.
Yeah, I do have a bet here in this game. I'm going to back the Guardians as dogs. I got a plus 110. I don't know if it's still kind of out there, but I think there's at least some plus 107s. This thing just keeps dropping. Everyone's betting the Brewers with, of course, with Peralta on the mound. You have the better pitcher. He's off a couple good ones. I think he skipped a start. That last start against the Cubs was really good that he had. Where did he go? 6, 7 Ks, 1 walk. But before that, I think, he did miss one. Yeah, he hasn't pitched since, the 4th, May 4th, so they skipped him. I think he had a growing issue. Yeah, so it's nice. So I think he get hit here a little bit. One problem that's been with him, this, Savannah, is his splits on the road. Just been a different guy. He's gotten hit a lot more. The walks seem to creep up a little bit more on the road. Guardians, too, after, winning 7 in a row, dropped the last 2. But they're at home. And Lively's been a little bit better. I don't know if he's great. It's something with the Brewers under team. I lean to this under in this game as well. I didn't bet it. It was a strong lean for me as both the bats have been great. All 3 games in Tampa went under. Yep. They finally get the last game there, but the bats just haven't been hot. So, yeah, give me the Guardians. All love the Brewers. This line's dropping like a rock. Take the Guardians.
Yeah, I just like the Guardians the way they're playing a little bit better. I think I'm with you. I think sometimes the starting pitching matchup's a little overvalued in the line sometimes, like it is here. Because to me, when this opened, it was Milwaukee minus 130. I mean, come on, Milwaukee
130, 135, yeah.
Road against Cleveland. Cleveland's been better lately. So I stayed off, but I understand why you like Cleveland. Boston and Detroit. We've got Boston minus 115 road favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Houck and Job. I mean, this one might be an under. We'll see. Houck has been actually a little bit better. Remember, this guy pitched well in the rotation at one point for Boston, but it was a really bad start to the year. We still remember how he gave up 12 runs in 1 start against Tampa Bay back in April. I'm still wondering how the hell that happened. He got roughed up by Cleveland, but let's give him credit. He shut down the Blue Jays, 7 strong innings, pitched decent in his last start against Texas. He's definitely turning the corner a little bit. I really like Jackson Jobe. I'm throwing out the Colorado start. Any young pitcher in the first time in that ballpark, it can be difficult. So I don't hold that against Jackson Jobe that he kind of struggled with the Rockies. I kind of like Detroit here at a near pick'em with Jobe on the mound. They have a great 14-5 record. Boston's playing mediocre 500 baseball on the road. That's another thing to factor in. So I actually do think Jobe and the Tigers have some value here. A small bet for me, Detroit. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, this line's, I think, a little bit fishy here, too, because you got to, think Jobe's going to bounce back after the really bad start. He's going to be great. I don't know. And we'll see how long. He's been great to start the year, this young R, but how long will he go? pitching. I mean, they barely going to use him. Do they shut him down? We'll see later on. But I think he could have a better start. I leaned under, but I don't really trust it. How, like you talked about, the one bad start, the last couple have been very good. You gave up 2 and 1. So, yeah, I stayed off here. I like the under a little bit in this game.
All right, we move along to St. Louis and Philadelphia. Matt, Liberator on the mound here for the Cardinals. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies. Battle of lefties. Philly minus 170, minus 180 in some spots. Home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. I think the Cardinals might be able to steal one here. I mean, Philly obviously playing really well the last, I would say, week to 2 weeks. They obviously won the last couple games of their series in Cleveland, but they played last night, Sunday Night Baseball in Cleveland, traveling now without a day. You know, I like that fading teams in that spot, off the Sunday Night Baseball spot, and that would be fade Philadelphia here. And I like the way Liberatore is starting to throw the ball here for St. Louis in some of his recent games. 3.07 ERA for him. He's given up 2 runs or less in 4 straight starts. He's given the Cardinals a chance to win every single one of these games. He mowed down Philadelphia actually earlier this year in April. 3-hit shutout in 6 innings for him against this Phillies lineup. So we'll see how he fares here. I mean, I like Sanchez too. This could be an under. This probably would lean that way as far as the total goes, but I think St. Louis, there's some value here. Again, Sunday Night Baseball fade spot for me. I think St. Louis is worth a shot here. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team. Cardinals have played, 8 straight games they won here. And the last on the road, too, right?
Yep.
I'd have to double check that. But, yeah, playing really good baseball. They've gone under 4-5. This was one. And then this is the classic with Phillies off the Sunday Night Baseball, like you talked about. But I think they're a big favorite a little bit for a reason. I like the under in this game a ton, but I think the offense is. And what do we get from Liberatore? I just think there's some aggression coming. He's pitched well.
Yep.
You know, I'm a little bit shocked. I know he's decent. Phillies have been pretty good against lefties. 7th basically in about 270. The power numbers are pretty good. But I think they could get to him. In the end, I think it's kind of Phillies or nothing. I know the value a little bit with the Cardinals, but like their team total, you'd have to take a minus 1.5 is decent, or their team total I was looking at 4.5. It was just minus 110, so I didn't really love it. But a couple righties I'm going to be on here. Castellanos is good, but our guy Alec Boehm, haven't used this guy all year. Not one time this year for an RBI or a total bases. Last year I used him a ton early on when he was smashing it. I think he went to the All-Star game. He was in the home run derby. So off to a slow start, but finally been picking it up lately. He's got a hit in 9 of 10. And what's he eat? Lefties. This is the time I only back him is lefties. He's getting hot. Just 2 for 7 career of Liberatore, but I'm on him here. And I think he's in the 6 hole, which is perfect for him. 5 or 6. I think he's 6 today. I just checked the lineup. So his RBI is plus 165. I put a little on the bomb, which is plus 525. He's a perfect spot for Boehm getting hot.
We'll see if Alec Boehm can get it rolling here for the Phils. All right, Pirates and Mets. We've got Paul Skeens against David Peterson. Mets minus 150. Minus 160, actually, home favorites. Total here, 7. I mean, now we're starting to finally get some value here. This is now when I start to consider, backing a pitcher like Paul Skeens. But the problem is you got to back the Pirates lineup, and I don't know if I want to do that. Now, credit to them. They did win walk-off fashion yesterday against Atlanta. I believe the first win for the Pirates since the firing of actually, no, they did win one of the other games against Atlanta as well. Second win since Derek Shelton got removed. But the problem for the Pirates is the lineup's not always trustworthy, and against lefties, they really do scuffle. And that's going to be the concern here going up against David Peterson, who, can be a quality arm for this Mets team. And he's given up 3 runs or less, 3 of his last 4 starts. Against the Pirates, he's held them to 3 runs in a total of 8 innings. He's pitched pretty well. And look, you think with Paul Skeens on the mound, plus 140, but Pirates are just 1-3 in his last 4 starts. So it's not like they've been winning all the time with Skeens on the mound either. So I don't know. I feel like finally this is the price I'm interested in trying to get to Paul Skeens and back him, but I don't know if I want to here because they just really have not been hitting against lefties all that much, this Pittsburgh team. C-Mac, what do you think?
So, yeah, just if you're looking for just simple batter hitter, just go RotoWire Simple. I use MLB Savant for a ton of stuff for that as well. And pitcher, that's one of the best sites, I think, is MLB Savant. So go look there for hitter and pitcher numbers. They're really, really good. So check out those sites. Yeah, it's telling here. Skeens, I think, is going to give up a few. We know how dominant he could be when he's rolling. I mean, this total 7. I got to stay off. Mets aren't playing like great. They go on that streak, but, they took 2 or 3 from the Cubs. I think they took 2 or 3 from the D-backs before that. So kind of been winning series as of late. Yeah, you know what I looked at? Was this Pirates line is putrid here today. I mean, Reynolds kind of the only guy. He had all right numbers too, but I can't back them. And you know what I want? Pirates team total. You'd have to go 2.5, which I just didn't play. I looked the 3.5 minus 145. A little bit high on the juice, but I think even the 2.5. Can this Pirates team get 3 runs even off Peterson? But this is where you want to back him is at home, and a Pirates team that's what 27th in the league off versus lefties.
Yep.
So it'd be a Pirates team total kind of look. Even the 2.5 plus money, I might put a little something on that because you should be able to get at least even money if the 3.5 is 145.
All right, we move along to Nats and Braves. We've got Joel Irvin and Grant Holmes on the mound here. We've got Atlanta minus 180 home favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. Holmes, I've been waiting ever so patiently for this guy to start going back the other way, and he's starting to for this Atlanta team. He got ripped pretty good by Cincinnati, 4 runs, 7 hits, gave up a couple of home runs. I think negative regression continues for him. Jake Irvin here for Washington. He had 1 bad start in Philly. It can be a tough place. That lineup's been good lately. Take that out. He's given up a grand total of 4 runs in his other 4 starts, spanning 25 innings. So really, other than the Philly start where he got blasted, he's pitched well, Jake Irvin, of late. I think we got a live dog here. I think Holmes is going to start regressing. We already saw it in his last start. I think Irvin's pitched well. I think the Nats here could be a live road dog. Now, the concern here, obviously, is Washington's form right now. They have lost 8 in a row. They haven't been hitting the ball worth a lick during this 8-game losing streak. But given Irvin pitching well, Holmes starting to falter a little bit and come back down to earth, it can be dicey to try to jump on a team to win on a losing streak like this. But I think Washington is value here. C-Mac, what do you think?
I think so too, but I can't take him today. And what do we get from the Braves? They'd lose, or I think they could win like 8-2 in this spot. I like Irvin. I like backing these Nats, these pitchers, Williams, Irvin. I don't mind it, and I don't blame you if you're betting. I looked at it a bunch. They've just been so cold, the Nats, all of a sudden, especially at the dish. But they played this Braves team tough. Just in the last 10, they're 6-4. And split field last year, they beat them up. I think they swept them one of the series. But yeah, Nats early, first 5. I always talk about them a little bit with their pen. If they could get a few runs off Holmes.
All right, we move along now to Marlins and Cubs. We've got Cal Quantrill, Colin Ray. Cubs minus 260, home favorites, 8 the total. Not a big Quantrill fan. As you know, we've talked about him quite a bit.
No?
7.26. No.
Not a Cal fan?
You know what's funny about him is he's actually pitched okay at home. In Miami, he's had a couple of good starts. On the road, he's been a disaster. He has been absolutely crushed in every road start this year, Quantrill. Well, guess where he is tonight? On the fucking road. So I don't expect him to pitch that well here tonight at Wrigley Field. This is a brutal road. 9 ERA on the road for Quantrill this year. Meanwhile, Colin Ray is kind of coming back down to earth. I knew he started off just humming 1 run or less, and it's like, what the hell? How's Colin Ray pitching this well? Well, now he's starting to stumble a bit. He gave up 5 runs, 8 hits against San Francisco here in this ballpark in his last start. There were signs that, his xFIP and his FIP were much higher than his ERA, so he's kind of come back downhill. I like over here in this game. Over 8, I think we see runs. Probably a lot of Cubs runs, but I think Miami can probably get on the board here too. So over 8, I like it. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, and both those starts too with Quantrill, Dodgers back to back. I thought he gives up 4, and then he was better.
These
Probably
teams,
everyone was
by the way,
surprised.
how about 48 and 28 combined over the total this year?
Yeah. Oh, Marlins. I mean, especially this bullpen. Quantrill on the road. Yeah. Over. And anything, as long as it's under 10 here, Wrigley, I don't think it's a big deal at all, the wind. You know what I mean? Not, especially with this lineup. And they have some good numbers against him. Their team total is 4.5. You probably go the 5.5 route, which I don't mind. The first 5, I'd rather have the Marlins bullpen. You bump to 5.5, but the first 5, there was a 2.5 team totals. I found a couple minus 120s. It's like, how did they not get 3 off Quantrill here? Cubs, right? Yep. Minus 120. So I think they do. Kyle Tucker, I like him. Suzuki, but I'll throw old Jack, of course, on Kyle Tucker here.
All right, good stuff. On we go now. Next up, we've got the Colorado Rockies and the Texas Rangers. Poor Bud Black finally got put out of his misery, that poor guy. It's not his fault. The fact that there's this rhetoric rolling around that Bud Black is at fault for what's happening with this pathetic franchise is a bunch of nonsense. That's a quality manager, that guy. Give him some players. Give him some pitching. Give him some talent, and he doesn't have enough of it. This is not on him. This is just him caught up in just a horse shit.
The whole organization's in a bad spot right now, too.
They've just run
minors are bad, yeah.
There's nothing in the pipeline. There's nothing in the prospect system. And everything they try to swing for the fences on with prospects, and they've obviously not drafted well because we've been waiting on Kyle Freeland for 5 fucking years. I'm done waiting on him to be a big-time pitcher, and he's just one of many examples for this Rockies team. Texas minus 250, home favorites, 8.5 the total. You buying the managerial change bump? I'm not. They're that bad. I cannot back Colorado, especially on the road. We know how woeful this team. 2-17. I mean, you got to really try hard to be that bad on the road. 2-17. This Colorado team away from home, and with Dollander, this guy. There's another guy, a big prospect. Yeah, he gets lit up every time I see him pitch. How big is he? 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 innings against the Tigers in his last start. Molly now for Texas continues to pitch well, yet they're 0-4 in his last 4 starts because they haven't given him run support.
Can't give him any runs.
With this Colorado team, look, 8 straight games have gone over. At 8.5, I'm taking over. You just hope this is a night that Texas can score a little bit. They should be able to, no question about it. And so I'm going over 8.5. I mean, somehow, some way, Texas, even with their recent problems with their lineup, and they have not been a good offensive team, if they don't get the runs against Dollander, they're going to get it off that miserable bullpen, which is even worse. And then I think for Tyler Mahle, too, I think there's some signs that he's going to, I think, slide back a little bit. Like, he's not going to maintain this for the rest of the season. I mean, Tyler Mahle, we've seen him now going back to with the Reds. He is not a 1.55 ERA pitcher, in his last 5 starts. He's not. He's going to come back to the pack a little bit. I don't know if it's tonight because this is Colorado after all, but I think Colorado can get a couple of runs across, and we get over 8.5. So over 8.5 for me. 8 straight overs for Colorado. C-Mac, what do you think?
Well, the one guy, some success. Our guy Vince McMahon, Ryan McMahon, 5 for 13, with a couple doubles, I think, couple homers off him. So I would look his way, but it's just tough. Back the Rockies. Then the price got huge finally, and the Rockies win yesterday, score a bunch of runs. Like, that's what we're gonna have to get used to. I mean, those days before they were minus 180 or whatever. The Rockies plus 150. Haven't been, at least this year, they've been that bad where you can't back. They're not plus 150 at home dogs where you could take. They need to be way higher, and let's see if they can start playing better baseball, because right now they're on track worse than the White Sox, to start the year. Long way to go. But, Rangers finally scored a couple runs, put up 10, I think the 6-1. They just beat the Tigers the last couple games. So Seager has been getting hot. He hit a couple homers. I think he could get over 2. Mahle, he's going to come down to earth. He's looked really good. for a guy that doesn't throw, straight gas, he works all his pitches in. He has a great changeup. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you here. Massive number. Now, these are the numbers we're going to, I think, start seeing a little bit. And Dollander, I talked about his last start last week. Man, they just rushed him. I mean, he was great single A. He's his top prospect. He goes 4-1 there. He's pretty good in double A. I mean, he has one start triple A. You can't even – he's basically a double A guy straight up. And he's had 2 good starts, one on the road, I think, in San Diego, and one at home against the Braves. So I think you're going to see that, but how much of it, at least for now? You know what I mean? There is glimpse. I think he's going to be a better pitcher. And it's tough just to be a pitcher for the Rockies anyways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if he's going to be great. But, yeah, maybe he has a little better start because he got tattooed in that last start. He got 6.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, it's we'll see. For obviously, and like I said, Bud Black is living a better life now. Not managing this team, I'm convinced of it. His life just improved.
Yeah. I mean, he's 65, right around there. I mean, I'm sure he's like, yeah, fuck.
You just got a better life now, moving ahead after start as of today. So I'd count his blessings if I'm him, that he's out of that madness. All right, Kansas City and Houston. We got the Astros minus 130 home favorites, 8 the total. We got Ryan Gusto and Michael Waka Flocka Flame, the pitching matchup here. Feels like this could be a pretty good under here. I mean, Kansas City, we've talked about the unders with them. They're 27-14 to the under this year. They got held to 2 runs or less, 1 run in each of their last 2 games against Boston over the weekend. Crochet and Giolito somehow fucking shut this team down. Wow. So that tells you all you need to know about the Royals lineup right now. Meanwhile, Houston, yeah, they've been hitting a little bit more, but they're still up and down. Gusto has actually given up 2 runs or less in 3 straight starts. Meanwhile, Waka, he's given up 3 runs or less in 5 straight starts, and he pitched against Houston just a month ago, shut him out in 6 innings, didn't give up a run. So definitely feels like an under game. C-Mac, what do you think? Royals, Astros.
Yeah, there could be some runs, but 8.5, you get it with the juice, or the 8 is basically even money around there. I have to take. I know the Astros have scored some runs the last few games in the loss, and they just scored 6. It was a 6-0 win yesterday. But I don't really trust this lineup. I don't know at all. I think Walker can be good. He, like you talked about, he's the start earlier. Like if he can go 5 and just give up a couple, I think it's solid. And Goose, I've been a little bit surprised how well he's pitched, to start the year. So under in this game, until the bats wake up for these 2. I know the Astros have scored some runs. I mean, under for me.
I would agree. Under pass for this better as well. All right, next up, we've got the New York Yankees and Seattle Mariners. Clark Schmidt and Emerson Hancock on the mound here, minus 145 road favorites for the Yankees, 8 the total in this game. You know what? A situational bet only. Like, I'm not a big Hancock fan. I don't think he's that great of a pitcher for Seattle, but from a situational standpoint, Seattle just got their ass handed to them over the weekend here at home by Toronto. I think they probably respond and try to have a better series here. Again, we were talking about Emerson Hancock, not someone I trust. Although that being said, his ERA is still being skewed by a pretty awful start to the season. He has pitched a little bit better lately, and Seattle's actually won each of his last 4 starts. So he's starting to pitch a little bit better. We'll see how he fares against the Yankees. I'm not really fully trustworthy of Clark Schmidt. Now, he has pitched a little bit better, too. Both of these guys have pitched a little bit better lately, but Yankees laying this price on the road. They are coming off winning 2 of 3 at the Athletics over the weekend, but still they're a 10-9 road team. Not great. I think Seattle home dog. I'm interested. I don't say I love Seattle in this spot, but I think there's a little value now coming off the bad series against Toronto to take Seattle plus 125. So I do like the Mariners here a little bit as a home dog. But you know what I like even more? You guys know it. Over. You guys are onto it in the chat. This team is just lining it up my pockets with one over bet after another. One of the red hot over teams in all of baseball right now. Every day their game is going over the total for the most part. It's either they're scoring or the opponent is scoring or a combination of both teams scoring. But these Seattle games going over the total, it's really been something else. I'm on it again. Over 8, Yankees, Mariners. C-Mac.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been on them, I just hit earlier 11 of 13, gone over the last 2 weeks. Yankees, how about this? They scored 10, 7, 12. I'm just a little spooked by this. And with these two pitchers, with Hancock, who's pitched well, and this is from 8.5 to 8, it's just a little bit like, and it's basically
That
the
actually
juice,
moved
you
down
get minus
yesterday,
110.
the total.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It did. But I mean, that's when I look at it, I'm like, maybe these guys pitch better. I like Schmidt, so I hate that it's a little bit 8. I like the move, all the money kind of on the over, but I think I'd rather have 8.5, which just aren't hanging around anymore, which I don't love because I think Schmidt could pitch well. The Mariners, all of a sudden, the bats have gotten a little cold. We talked about the other teams have been scoring the runs the last 4 or 5 games. So yeah, and Hancock's been, he's been decent here. Yeah, especially the Yankees scoring all those runs. I mean, some teams you start mashing, you know. But after teams start scoring 10, 12, I think the bats could go a little bit cold tonight. That's why I kind of lean to the under. But we have no 8.5s. That's what I'd really like in this game.
Good stuff. All right, we move along now, too. We just got a couple games left. Gerald Jones. That's a great comment from Gerald Jones. I heard yesterday Colorado Rockies AAA affiliate has the worst record out of all AAA in the country. I'm not shocked by
they're
that.
horrible.
They have no prospects, man.
Yeah.
None. They drafted poorly. They've had great draft selection, draft picks as far as where they're drafting for years, and they haven't picked what their scouts suck. I mean, let's be real. That's how that happens. Their scouts are not doing a good enough job. The people making the picks, the GM are getting bad intel. The scouts are telling them this guy's a can't miss prospect. They've missed a hell of a lot of prospects. This Rockies team.
Oh, for sure.
That's the issue.
A lot of these games, all the numbers too, like scream over, of course, everything that we look at. One thing with the Yankees, being a big favorite after winning like that and then being on the road again, it's been a bad spot for them. I think it's like 11 to 12 where they've lost. So Mariners might be live tonight. Just throwing that out there. It's kind of been a tough spot for the Yankees. After a road win, then another one, head to the road again. I'm looking at that earlier today.
All right, we got 2 games left. Angels and Padres. We've got Yusei Kikuchi and Michael King on the mound here. Padres minus 220, home favorites, 7 the total. Surely an edge to King and the Padres. He's been excellent. He's a bet-on pitcher all the way. The Padres continue to just roll at Petco, 14-4 at home on the season. It's Padres or pass for me, but the value's not really all that great. I think they probably do win, though. Kikuchi. Now, Kikuchi pitched well against his old team. Maybe he's got to pitch against Toronto all the time, but it was finally a good start from him. But before that, he kind of struggled a little bit. See how he fares here. He struggled with San Diego in the past as well. Maybe Padres team total over 4.5 possibly. You could go with that, or maybe King shuts down the Angels. You could go Angels team total under. But King is bet on all the way for me. When I see King on the mound, it's Padres or it's nothing for me. C-Mac, what do you think?
Kikuchi here, I think's big. He's pitched well, but now on the road, and they've hit him hard, like you talked about. This Padres team, not a crazy amount of numbers, but all these guys, multiple homers for Bogarts. Machado has a couple. And it's tough. We'll see if Merrill's in the lineup. I know he's sick. He was out of the last game. And what do we get? Is this little bit of the sleepy spot, though, after the Rockies series? Even though they just lost, I get it's kind of like the bounce back. But we still don't have lineups right out here. Yeah, he's in. Okay, he's in. Yeah,
there we go.
He's in. Yep. He's in the 4-hole. Man, he's just playing so well. And then you see Machado. I think he's had ribbies in 4 straight. I might have something on those guys later tonight. I haven't put a bet on it yet. So yeah, and what I think too, man, I'm like Padres team total. This total is low at 7, which I think is a little light. But can they get to 5? I lean that way a little bit. Back home, it's just kind of a weird game that might be like 3-1, something like that. But I'd be on the Padres 4.5. It's plus 115. Yep. I see other spots plus 110. I'm leaning that way of maybe taking it. Like I said, I haven't took props. I was just waiting on the lineup, some of the other stuff. And also that game doesn't go off here till 10 Eastern or so. So I have time. But yeah, Padres team total at a nice price.
All right, we wrap it up with an NL West battle. Arizona, San Francisco, Merrill Kelly, Justin Verlander, the matchup here. Arizona rather, minus 120. Road favorites, 8 the total in this game. Merrill Kelly, he's pitched a little bit better, actually quite a bit better. He's given up 2 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts. Even the last game against the Mets, he pitched pretty solid. We'll see if he can keep it rolling here. Verlander's been decent. It's been okay. Wouldn't say he's been great, but he's been serviceable. He's been solid. 3.41 ERA in his last 5 starts. Now they're both. It's very interesting that the Giants are only 1-4 in Verlander's last 5 starts, and Arizona, even though Kelly hasn't pitched that bad, Arizona's lost each of Kelly's last 3 starts. So very interesting here. Neither of these teams have stepped up and won games for their starter here of late. So this is a game. It's a tough one. I think. It's your classic. I think Arizona could win. Could see San Fran winning. I could see it going over because these pitchers they did have some struggles early on, but they've been better lately. So maybe it goes under. I'm just a little unsure of this game. And as you can tell, not a very strong opinion on it. C-Mac, what do you think? Arizona, San Francisco.
Yeah, that's how I felt a little bit. Like, I think Verlander, he's been a little bit better after just getting ripped early on. And, of course, at home, I think he could be all right. Diamondbacks, what do we get from this offense? If you guys have good numbers, Smith, I think he's 3 for 6 with a couple homers. And Adames on the other side is great numbers versus Kelly. I think he's 7 for 19 with a couple homers. But it's just kind of a coin flip, and that's what's showing a little bit in this game. Giants just got swept by the Twins, now come back home. Kelly, like you talked about, has been good, but hasn't really shown for him. He's 3-2 with a 4 ERA, but his last few starts have been excellent. When I see this, I under. But I think we could get runs. Verlander's a little bit of the wild card. And Kelly on the road. He still could be pretty good on the road, but he's just been the last few years, I want to back him a little more at home. But, man, this is under nothing here in this game like this for me.
All right, lean under here for C-Mac. All right, there you have it. Jack of the day for this Monday. C-Mac, home run candidates, home run props. What are you liking there?
Well, I gave you a Bohm. I gave you that earlier. And Tucker, plus 500 for the Jack. Like I talked about in the late games, some of those Padres, like Merrill's plus 750. There's some big numbers out there in some of those late games maybe to look at. But that was
now
it.
That he's in the lineup, that might be worth a look. Yeah, I agree. I think he's in the lineup, that might be worth a look, in my opinion. No question. For me, as far as home run props are concerned,
you're gonna go Ben Rice.
Yes.
Guys been yakking. Are you really? I just feel okay.
Ben Rice is on my card.
All right.
Yeah, that is actually.
Right.
Believe it or not, it's one of the guys I got right here as far as home run props for tonight are concerned. I like Wilson Contreras too for St. Louis. I know Sanchez can be a tricky matchup, but Contreras does hit a lot of the pitches that he tends to throw.
That's the guy, yeah. I want to look at with a lefty.
Contreras, for St. Louis. You can get him plus 750. You talk about the price for Merrill, you can get around plus 750 as well for Wilson Contreras. So I think that's not a bad look there for the Cardinals. A team that, as I mentioned, I think they're live in that game against the Phillies with the Sunday Night Baseball fade in play. Obviously the Ben Rice I mentioned for the Yankees. I think that might be someone worth a look here as well. Tatis Jr. against Kikuchi. I think, that's a really good one because Tatis has done some damage against Kikuchi in the past. So, that might be someone to look at. So those are a couple for me as far as home run props for tonight. All right, best bets to wrap it up for this Monday. C-Mac, what do you like for best bet?
Yeah, I was going to go dog here this game, but let's just go with the one. I mean, this was kind of the top bet I looked at right away was the Cubs team total against Quantrill here. Over 2.5, first 5, minus 120.
All right, Cubbies to get to Cal Quantrill, who's been absolutely abysmal on the road. Cubs team total, first 5 for C-Mac with his best bet. My best bet for this one, I'm going to end up going to, let me see here. Let's go with, I feel good about, I'm going to go, this is a bit of a bolder best bet. So, better beware. that I'm using the Washington Nationals as a best bet, but I am. I know they've lost
I know
8
you.
in a row, but I like Irvin. I think Holmes is starting to regress a little bit. The price is really good. You throw out the one start against the Phillies in Philadelphia. He's pitched well. I think the Washington Nationals snapped the losing streak tonight down in the ATL, and I like the value with Irvin. So let's go a little bit bold with a bang to start the week here. Plus 168 Washington Nationals against the Atlanta Braves for my best bet for this Monday. A shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Again, we're with you 3 more days this week with the MLB Hitting the Book show. We appreciate you guys joining us. Zoe, Free, Nick Elvento, Gerald Jones, KP, Old E, Justin McKelvey, everyone joining us. Daniel, Timothy Hake, thanks to all of you in the chat for holding us down.
Shout out to all you guys.
Hit the like button on the way out. Yes, we appreciate it very much. That's a wrap for Connor Mack. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back with you tomorrow on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.